Hello guys, this is Eric Day from ACS Learning Hub. Welcome back to my channel here with 2022 Forex trading strategy. So today, what I'm going to share with all of you about one of the strategy that I always mention in my Forex trading plan. I will want to show you how are we going to use it and how are we going to use it in the real chart. Okay, so now what am I talking about? What strategy is that? All right, so the strategy is talking about resistance. Always enter a selling trade upon hitting on a resistance, and always buy a trade when it hits on the support. All right, so today I have a very good example. Okay, 2022 February the 7th. Okay, I have a very good example here, so I would like to share with you how it actually happens and how to take a trade to make sure you can grab your 5 pips trading. All right, okay, so let's jump into the classroom. Let's go. All right guys, we are back into the classroom over here. Okay, so today this concept is going to take a little while, okay, to show you what I always mention about selling at the resistance. Okay, so always sell at the resistance. Okay, so today I'm going to focus a lot on selling at the resistance. Okay, so today I'm going to show you, okay, in the chart that how we actually grab the profits in pound yen in 2022 February the 7th. Alright, so earlier on, if you have attend and subscribed to my YouTube channel, and you actually should know, okay, I have a Forex trading plan, which before the market open, I will have a planning before I start trading, am I right? Okay, so now, one of the plans here is for pound yen, and this is what I always say in my Forex trading plan: be patient, wait for the price to hit upon the resistance without breaking, and then we start selling. Okay, all right, so how it works now, let me show you over here. Okay, so in MT4, I'm going to recap a little bit. Okay, the last session of this playlist, okay, the last video of this playlist, we actually categorize out the day time frame, then followed by the H4 and then the H1, am I right? Okay, so today, actually by looking at the trend, we are looking at the trend over here where it hits on the resistance. Okay, the trend over here, it hits onto the resistance right here. Okay, let me bring this over so that it will be much clearer for you to take a look. And as you can see, when the day one, a general trend, and it actually hits on the resistance, there's a new resistance forming up. Okay, there's a new resistance forming up to sell. So today, I will be looking out for selling opportunity. The next thing, over in H4 time frame, I'm looking out for the general strength to see if it can continue to sell or not. All right, so this is also one point that we have to take note. Okay, so since over here, as you can see the resistance area, this is the resistance area. It hits and it starts to come down with a little bit of retracement, which is today. Correct? Okay, so now I'm going to bring down this, I'm going to bring down the resistance. Okay, now over here in H4, which is a very current one, you'll see it meets another resistance, okay, the lower resistance over here, and it starts to retrace. Correct? All right, so I guess it's going to be very easy, whereby I go into H1 and I want to determine in the whole of the day, okay, then today I'm going looking out for a selling, so they were bound to have a chance that it will hit and go up to test the resistance and come down again. Am I right to say that? Okay, so that's what I always say. We are always looking out for a trend, followed by looking out the general strength in the trend, whereby is this a good session? Each session for 4 hours. Is this session good for me to sell? All right, so once I determine that, okay, this session may be good for me to sell in H4, all right, I shall be looking for a selling opportunity. So in H1, if I'm here, okay, let's say I'm here, so I will be wondering, should I sell right now? No, I will have a little bit more patience to wait for the price to retrace upwards for the next few hours, and it hits on the resistance over here. And this is the place where I will check back again. Do I still qualify for my selling? Will it break through the resistance and continue the buying? All these are the questions that I will be asking myself. So after asking myself for all these questions, and if the price doesn't break out and it forms a new resistance on the resistance area, okay, and now this is the time where I will be taking a good chance, a good TP, all right? So I want to enter a trade right here. So this is what I meant by entering a trade at the resistance area, okay? So over here, if we are looking at entering a resistance area, okay, so these are the resistance area that we should be looking out for. Once it has actually comes in, Forex trading always come along with building a new resistance, testing the previous built resistance, and then tested again and it failed again. That means to say we have good chance to sell. All right. So over here, when it has a chance for us to sell, you can look out for an entry point from where you learn from what you know, okay, and grab a 5 pips trading, and that will be much easier. Okay. So for example, okay, over here, as I can see, okay, as I can see that these are the resistance area. So these are the resistance area. I must have the concept. Number one, it must build a new resistance in the downward trend. Second, the resistance have to be tested once. Okay, if it's not breaking, that means this resistance can be quite strong. And from there, you can start to sell for your 5 pips. So actually you have a chance here, a chance here, and a chance here. So all this today, this is today, okay, and I grab the opportunity over here. All right. So you can see if the resistance, if it has been trying to test and break for so many times, it can show you one thing, that the resistance can be very strong. So it's not easy to be break. So over here, we have to take a look. Look out for something example, all right? Can you see the support over here? Right here, okay, for example, okay, here, when it comes down, it hits on the support and it built a new support. In fact, it actually tested the lower support over here with the lower wick, the lower shadow over here. Can you see? Once you see such a lower wick, that means to say it has tested the previous support and it bounced back to form a new support area. And this new support area from here, it started to went up and meet and form a new resistance, and this resistance start to come down to the support, and it went up to test the resistance again, which previously newly built up, okay, and it stopped breaking out, and it start to turn back again to hit the previous support also, and not building a higher support. Okay, remember, I repeat, over here, when it comes for a support, it went up to build a new resistance. Now this new resistance start to retrace downwards and hits the previous support without breaking, and went up to test the previous resistance. And when you see this, it bounced from the support to the resistance, newly built resistance, and bounced back to the previous support and bounced up to the newly previous resistance. That means to say the range is here. Okay, the range is here. If you see a new support is building higher than the previous support and hits on the resistance and it's not breaking out again and come back, but this time around it built a higher support, and moving forward, moving towards the resistance. That means to say it's a sign of buying, a sign of strength to buy. But however, in this case over here, it hits on the support and it bounced up to form a new resistance. and throughout the next few hours, the resistance have been tested and not breaking. Finally, it comes down and testing the previous support. That's fine. And now the support went up again and testing the previous resistance, and it's not breaking again. When it starts to come down, it's very obvious that the price going to fall within this range. So upon hitting on the support, which is the previous support, and it start to move up again, all right, they start to move up again to hit on the resistance, which is a previous resistance. Now, what do you expect? Either number one, it break out, no selling, or when the new resistance come down, then we can start to sell. Okay, then we can start to sell. All right, so in this case, in H1 over here, the green candle and the red candle is a sign of resistance formed on the resistance area. Okay, so that means to say it's a good chance to sell. So right now, we should be looking out for entry point. All right, so as for entry point, the trigger point as near as to the resistance is always a good entry point. All right, to grab a 5 pips, it will be much easier if you measure down from the resistance to the support. It has 30 pips, so that means to say your 5 pips is very comfortable to be in your pocket. Okay, all right, so you have your system for entry point, and everyone has a different system where everybody you are looking out for all this. When you are hitting on the resistance, yes, you can work the same way. Okay, so you can actually narrow down to a smaller time frame. Okay, like example M5. Okay, as you can see, it hits here and here and here for so many times, and finally it turns down with a green candle, a red candle. Okay, then follow through by digesting all the buying volume and now increasing the selling volume. Then you can start to sell. All right, but it's okay whether how you're going to enter this trade. It all depends on what kind of trigger point strategy you have. All right, but importantly is over here that you know how to analyze the trend, and in the trend you are able to tell that the general strength is still able to push it down, and from there narrow down the search to the right at the point. This hour, do I stand a chance to enter for a trade? Yes. How do I look at? Same thing. These are the resistance that we are looking out for. Okay, and then narrow down further down your time frame to capture that very minute, that very moment. How should you enter a trade? Okay, all right. So today actually it is a very good, I would say it's a very good experience, a very good chart where it actually fulfill, okay, at the point of time in front of my eyes. Okay, so I would like to share this little knowledge with all of you. Okay, so right now at this point, okay, we are actually looking at the resistance. We are looking at the resistance when we identify the trend, which is a selling trend. So when we can identify this trend is a selling trend, the first thing in our mindset, we should be looking out for a selling trade. So when we are looking out for a selling trade like this over here, all right, so this shall be our chance. So we can narrow down from the day one to identify the trend in H4 to see if this session, in this 4-hour session, will I have a chance to grab a profit. So from the 4-hour session, we go into a 1-hour session, okay, the 1-hour time frame, to see and to identify whether it hits on the resistance or the support, to decide, are we going to wait or shall we enter a trade? Okay, so over here, we need to understand all this in order to have a consistent profit and to give yourself a strong structure where you will follow in your trading, whereby you will achieve consistent profit and not falling out anywhere to grab profit here and there in the sky. Okay, all right, so it's very simple, and well, from here, you have a lot of plenty of chance to grab. And today, by looking at today, the whole Power Yen has dropped 93 pips. And is it such a waste that I only want to grab 5 pips and actually missed a lot of opportunity? It depends on how you look at it, okay? Because I just want to have money into my pot so that my pot can grow bigger and consistently, okay? All right, so over here in this resistance area, okay, so you must remember, after you identify the trend, make sure you narrow down to a smaller time frame in H4. That is to look out for the general strength of this trend. Is it still going downwards? And if it shows that it's going downwards, then from there, in the 1 hour time frame, is a time frame for you to see right now, okay, in this hour, do I stand a chance to sell? Okay, do I stand a chance to sell? If H1 actually show you H1 with a green and red candle forming up a new resistance, okay, a resistance, and it's not breaking out previous resistance area, okay, over here, right? And this shall be a good chance. And it's about how you enter a trade in your trigger point, okay? Whether it's too late, whether you enter a trade where it's so near to the support, which is no good, all right? You must always remember you have to enter a trade near to the resistance and further away from your support. If you're grabbing only 5 pips, okay, make sure you have enough space. So calculate out the space from the resistance to the support. You have 32 pips. And the point you enter, all right, the point of the entry must also have enough space plus the spread to capture your 5 pips from your entry to the support. Okay, so this is the range. So this is the range where you must always take a look. Don't ever enter even you are trying to break the support. Okay, since Eric is so good with this, I'm going to enter and it's going to break and I'm going to collect more. Well, you can, but it's a risk, right? So if you are grabbing a 5 pips trading, always try to enter at the top, at the resistance area, and leaving enough or more than enough space to the support area, okay? So before it hits on the support, you should collect your TP, you should collect your profit and put it in the pocket and watch the show, okay? So every time when you start trading, practice this, repeat this, and you will grab your profit, okay? And that is how you are supposed to trade to achieve a consistent 5 pips trading, all right? Okay, so I guess that's about all for today, and I hope this will really help you in your trading and hope that everything is good, all right? So yep, hopefully you like this video, and remember to click on the like button, subscribe, and ring up the bell so that you will be able to receive my latest video update, okay? All right, so I shall see you in the next lesson. Hopefully this will help you, okay? See you again, guys. This is Eric from ACS Learning Hub. See you.